What's up, guys? Clan from the past here once again, and today we're going to be talking about Bryn Forbes. Now, one thing about Bryn Forbes that I want to just go ahead and address is I don't like all of the hate that Bryn Forbes used to get. He used to get a tremendous amount of hate, and I always hated it, bro, because I was one that was a big Bryn Forbes fan. I understood that on the defensive end, he could be a liability. I think his rating is about 116, and the average NBA rating is 110. And if you don't know, 116 is not good. The lower, the better on defensive ratings is what you want to go with. Those are the good defenders. So I understand that he's not the best defender out there. But the thing about it is, I don't think it's so much his inability to play defense. I don't think it's lack of effort. I think it's just his size. And I can live with that every single day. Same thing with Patty Mills. I consider Patty Mills a good defender, even though he was undersized. Now, I want to go ahead and play devil's advocate when it comes to Bryn Forbes. Now, I'm not saying Bryn Forbes is a great defender, because at the end of the day, even though I can say that on a technical level, fundamentally, he's a good defender, that doesn't matter if you're undersized and you have a smaller wingspan and you just flat out can't defend. There's no way this guy could defend a Kevin Durant, right? But my thing is, I think one thing that we're not keeping in mind when it comes to Bryn Forbes and when he was with us and why we looked so bad defensively, you don't think about the team in which Bryn Forbes was on. If you recall, he was on a team in which he was starting oftentimes, which he had to. I know a lot of fans weren't happy with that, but we were lacking shooting, kind of like this past season. So, but the thing is, he was often playing with Patty Mills. And like I said, Patty Mills is not a bad defender, but Patty Mills is undersized to be a elite defender. Also, he was playing with Marco Bellinelli. We all know Marco Bellinelli, I would just say straight up, not a good defender, okay? We can just say that straight up. He's not a good defender. I can't even say fundamentally he's a good defender. He don't box out well. He doesn't do a lot of things well, okay? So, so he wasn't a great defender by any means. So, Bryn Forbes was on a team in which kind of, especially the game 7 drive against the Nuggets, the only great defender we really had on the team was Derek White. Like I said, this is me in the past, so if Derek White is traded for some reason, I'm very sad, but that's besides the point. But he was the only defender we really had. So I just wanted to keep that in mind, and I wanted to at least give you a stat to go home with, whether, it means anything or not. But if you look on here, if you scroll down a little bit and you find Bryn Forbes, this is hustle plays. And as far as balls, recovered, 75% on the defensive end and 25% on the offensive end is balls recovered. And that's pretty doggone good. But then again, when you're dealing with 75% and 25%, it's likely that this hasn't happened too many times. But just letting you know that the effort is there. He doesn't slack off. He's a tremendous player when it comes to just the hustle and what you get from him. And one thing I'll say also is that Bryn Forbes, with this team that we have, I truly do believe, and save this video, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I truly believe that he's not going to damage our defense that much. I believe that Bryn Forbes on a team full of defenders will flourish. I think he will be just fine. When you're dealing with Keldon Johnson, when you're dealing with Devin Vassell, if they're still here, when you're dealing with DeJounte Murray, if he's still here, if you're dealing with Derek White, if he's still here by the time I'm recording this video, I don't know, or posting this video, but if they're still there, you have a really good defensive team to surround him. And in my opinion, I don't think he hurt the Bucks whatsoever, and they are a pretty doggone good defensive team. So with that being said, I just want people to calm down a little bit with being afraid of Bryn Forbes being on this team, and afraid of his defense. Just keep in mind that he's on a totally different team than he was a couple years ago with the Spurs. We are not the same team, and we actually have an identity, unlike when he played for us and we did not have an identity whatsoever. Last thing I want to mention with Bryn Forbes before we close this on out, and I'm going to go ahead and look this up for you really fast because I did not have it up for this video, but let me show you something. and this is showing how Bryn Forbes, what type of impact Bryn Forbes has on this team. And I mentioned the Game 7 stats, and I showed Carolina this as well when we were on live, because she herself didn't really remember the box score. So check this out. Boom, boom, boom. If you look at Game 7, and I know this is one game, but this is an important game. It's a Game 7, okay? This guy showed up. This made me want Bryn Forbes to be a Spur for life. This right here. If you look on here, 19 points for Bryn Forbes, 19 points from DeRozan. Now here's the difference. DeRozan went 7 for 21. Bryn Forbes went 7 for 11. Bryn Forbes went 3 for 4 from 3. He went 2 for 3 from the free throw line. He has 6 rebounds at his size. He played very well. Now take the minuses as a grain of salt, because almost all of our starters had minuses. But Bryn Forbes was out there and he was balling. And he had so much faith from Pop that he was out there just as long as Aldridge and DeRozan. And one thing about Bryn Forbes in this game is that he was clutch. There was a lot of clutch shots from Bryn Forbes. He was basically the only one that showed up. And I'm not just saying that lightly. I really do mean he was the only one to show up. Now, I think Rudy Gay, had some good stretches near the end too. And DeRozan, to his credit, he came alive a little bit near the end. But these guys were non-existent, man. Our big starters were non-existent. If you recall, even Aldridge had a brain lapse at the end of that game. But Bryn Forbes killed it, dude. So with that being said, don't be scared of Bryn Forbes. He's a phenomenal talent. And also don't have rose-colored glasses just because he won a championship. He always had that in his arsenal. He always had that in his heart to be a champion. So he is a champion at heart, and I've always believed that with him. So I'm excited. I think that we're going to get a really, really new and improved Bryn Forbes. And keep in mind, if you're afraid of Bryn Forbes, remember that this man right here, who we just lost, where is he? There he is. Who we just lost, Patty Mills, he vouched for Bryn Forbes, man. If it wasn't for Patty Mills, Bryn Forbes wouldn't be the shooter he is today. Because if you recall, Patty Mills basically mentored him for a while, and then we had that breakout season from Bryn Forbes where we were like, whoa, Bryn Forbes is kind of good. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. I know I rambled a little bit. I just wanted to put that out there and see what you guys think about it. But yeah, if you could give me a like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, all that good stuff. And also, if you want to support the channel, once again, become a patron. It's only $2 a month, okay? Not trying to break the bank for anybody. But yeah, thanks for the love. I'll give it to you guys later. Deuces, my man.